Good morning to all engineering students. Myself, Dr. D. Raghuraman, Associate Professor, Department of Automobile Engineering, Bharat Institute of Higher Education Research. Today we will see a video lecture on the topic lathe machine that is coming under the manufacturing stream, because in the case of mechanical there are thermal stream as well as manufacturing stream. Both is a dominating stream. Under manufacturing stream, you are going to see a lathe machine. It is coming under the subject code U20MEEJ02. Subject name is Basic Civil and Mechanical Engineering. It is prepared by myself, Dr. G. Raghuraman, and Dr. K. Selvakumar from Department of Mechanical Engineering. You will see about this lathe machine. So if you are seeing about the machine is what it is going to make a manufacturing of a product. If you are going to say manufacturing of a product with the help of you are already learned engineering graphics, with the help of a drawing, you are going to make manufacturing of a product. So if you are going to make manufacturing of a product, you need to make utilization of machines. On this is what called to be a father of machines. This is what very manual one, and other machines are being the next variety to this one. This is why it is called as a father of machines. And if you see the lathe machine can be operated directly by people. That is what I will be saying as manual lathe. Otherwise, by computer control also you can do manufacturing. That is what you will be popularly saying a CNC machine. That is a computer controlled lathe. Nowadays, there are manual lathe. It is only for a job order production. Job order production means you will be making only a racer product, but there will be a more amount of varieties are there, but you can't able to make a more number of products. If you have to produce more number of products, then you have to go for a mass production means, then instead of a manual lathe, you are required to go for a CNC lathe. Anyway, before going to CNC lathe, it is required to know in a first year level, it is required to know about what is the manual lathe. So that you are going to see on this video lecture, you are going to see about what are the types of lathe, as well as what is its main parts, as well as its principle of working and operation. This you are going to see in this video lecture. Okay. So this is the objective of the video lecture. Main purpose of the lathe, center lathe, as well as what is the safety precautions on the center lathe, and types of lathe, identification of main parts of the center lathe, and the purpose of each main parts, what is the cutting speed, and what is the operations performed on lathe. So if you're seeing main purpose of a center lathe, the lathe is used for producing cylindrical work. You can able to see the object here, it's not a cylindrical object. Even if you are going to mount a square component, square prism component, by turning only the machining operation is going to be done, so that your final product will become a cylindrical work only. So that's why it is suitable for producing a cylindrical work. The workpiece is rotated while the cutting tool movement is controlled by the machine or an operator. If it is CNC machine, it will be controlled by a machine. If it is a operator, this is called to be a turner, because this operation is said to be a turning process. Because the main principle, if you are seeing, it is getting rotation of an workpiece, and against that you are going to travel the tool, so that it is said to be a turning machine. Lathe is a machine name, as it is invented by the scientist. It is named with lathe, and anyway, by the operation wise, it is also said as a turning machine. So this is the purpose. You can able to make unwanted material you can remove, so that in a manufacturing we will be having the two dominant operation: subtractive manufacturing, as well as, that is what subtractive manufacturing is, what this lathe machine, as well as milling machine, as well as shaping machine. You have a lot of machine, you will be making unwanted material will be getting removed. That is what you will be meaning subtractive manufacturing. Additive manufacturing means you are not going to remove the material, instead layer by layer you are going to make manufacturing. That is what additive manufacturing. Now you are seeing this under a subtractive manufacturing. This is whatever the unwanted portions, the geometry we are going to remove, so that you are going to get a final product. So if you are going to operate in a lathe machine, then you have to follow with a safety precaution. Always you have to wear an approved safety glasses, because sometimes while making cutting process, the chips may be going to hurt your eyes, that may lead into permanent blindness. So that is why it is important. You have to wear the safety glasses, and also roll up sleeves. You have to roll up the sleeve, otherwise you may be getting into an injury. And the tie you should not wear while you are making manufacturing process, and you have to tuck in, and you should avoid the loose clothing. So never operate the machine if the safety guards are removed. And also you have to stop the lathe before measure work and cleaning. If you are going to measuring the work, some of them will be measuring it while rotation itself. That is a wrong procedure. It will damage your instrument also, and also it is hazardous. So you have to stop the lathe completely, then you have to measure. And also the meaning of cleaning, oiling, adjusting the machine, everything. Whenever you stop the machine, then only you have to. Then always you have to remove the check key after use. That's what major of the accident in engineering students we had seen in experience. They are forgetting after unlocking the workpiece from the work holding device. That's what a check you are having 3-jar check, 4-jar check. Using the check key, you are going to remove the workpiece. That if you are forgetting, that will be making a hazardous situation to the students. Okay, so you have to remove the check key after the use. Always you have to remove the chips with the brushes. By bare hands also, the students are removing. That should be avoided. Before going to see the lathe, these safety precautions is needed because in the laboratory, while you are going to make manufacturing, even in industry, you have to follow these safety precautions. Now about types of lathe, this is what a main lathe, engine lathe. Previous days it is run by a steam engine. That is why it is stay in a engine lathe. But instead of engine lathe, it is also called center lathe. By a motor, if you are going to run, you are not going to say the name same as engine lathe. Steam engine, if you are making use for the running of an lathe, you are saying engine lathe instead of an steam engine. If it is a electric motor, then you may not say it as an engine lathe. And instead, you will be making use of a center lathe instead. So you will be having a live center as well as dead center. You have a live center in case of an headstock of an lathe, and you have a dead center in case of an tailstock. Now you are going to see in depth about each parts. The most common form of lathe is what motor driven. And anyway, previous days it is used with steam engine. That's what you are seeing as an engine lathe. Now bench lathe, it is being as name itself it implies, it's a smaller in size. A top model that is used for low power and precision machine, small work pieces. That is what you will be making use of a bench lathe. In a tracer lathe, that is the lathe that has the ability to follow a template to copy a shape or contour. Already a template will be available that will be getting copied and it is going to take a trace of that. That's why you are saying it as a tracer lathe. Then automatic lathe. A lathe in which the workpiece is automatically fed and removed without use of an operator is what called to be an automatic lathe. The automatic lathe means everything, the work holding as well as tool holding, everything will be done automatic. And the turret lathe in the toolbox, if you are having a turret head, that's what you will be meaning with a turret lathe. The lathe which have a multiple tools mounted on a turret, either attached to the tailstock or the crash light, that allows you a quick changes in tooling and cutting operations. That is what said to be a turret lathe. And this is what a parts of lathe. These parts of lathe again we are going to see one by one. You can able to see here in the sketch, a main line sketch of an lathe. Here at the left end, you will be having a headstock. The left end, you are having a headstock, and the right extreme end, you will be seeing the tailstock. And at middle, you will be having a part. This part is what called to be, this entire part is called to be a carriage. So it is carrying most important components like a crash slide, compound slide, as well as tool post. And the tool post only we are going to keep that tool. Tool is stationary. In the lathe machine, tool is stationary. Only thing it is not going to rotate. Tool is going to make movement, longitudinal movement and cross movement. That only you are going to give to the tool with the help of this mechanism, carriage mechanism. We are going to see again on the upcoming slides. And you will be having at the left side, you will be having headstock. Here what you will be getting a power, input power. From that you will be making a number of rotational speed you can be able to give on the spindle. Here you will be having a spindle. Above the spindle only, you will be having a mounting of a check. So in the headstock, we will be having a spindle. At the spindle, there will be a external threading, and you will be having chuck. It have an internal threading, so that it will be mounted. The chuck will be mounted on the headstock spindle. So the headstock spindle will be rotating at a different speed. For that, we will be having gear levers. So that is what the main part. You will be getting a power from the headstock. The rotation power it is getting delivered by means of an electric motor, and you will be getting a different speed you are getting, as well as there is a feed control also available. You can also control, if it is being an automatic machine, you can control the feeds also. So in the middle only you will be having the main part that is for holding the tool, and you will be getting the motion, the linear motions. For a longitudinal one as well as crash speed, you will be getting with help of a carriage only. And the right extreme part, that is what called to be as a tailstock. The tailstock is what it is used for the case of holding a excess amount of length. If you are having excess amount of a cylindrical workpiece length, that will be going to support it by the dead center. Here you will be having a dead center. Why I am saying dead center is this spindle, tailstock spindle, it will not get rotated. Because of that, center mounted on this spindle, you will be saying it as a dead center. And a center, if you are keeping here for supporting a longer length of a shaft, you will be saying it as a live center. The meaning is because this headstock spindle is what it is having a rotation so that it is live. That's why you are saying it as a live center, and it is not going to make any rotation. That's why you are saying it as a dead center. And the tailstock is not only for supporting the lengthier shaft, and also even a taper turning operation you can able to make offset procedure. By means of offset procedure also you can be able to make a operation of taper turning. And apart from these two operations, and you can able to make attachments like drilling attachments. You can able to fix at the dead center. Instead of dead center you can fix the drill bit, so that you can able to make drilling operations also. Now we can see about the lathe tools. The first part we got seen, it is being headstock. So this part is what a headstock. The headstock, it is what it is clamped on the left hand end of the bed. So this part is what bed. Bed is rigid in construction. Above the bed only you will be having the mounting of this headstock as well as carriage as well as tailstock, because lathe means it have these three main parts, that is headstock as well as carriage and tailstock. That's what a bed assembly is there. Above that you will be having the headstock. The headstock spindle, that is what major. If you are seeing the headstock spindle, that is hollow cylindrical shaft that is supported by means of a bearing. And also this is what this headstock is what provides a drive through the gear to work holding devices. You can able to make a number of work holding devices like 3-jaw check, 4-jaw check, collets, as well as mandrels and face plate, driving plate. Okay, lot of things. That's what you have seen here. Live center, face plate, check, that will be fitted in the spindle nose. At the spindle nose there are external thread, and these work holding devices having internal threads. So by that mean you can be able to make fixing the work holding devices, so that the work will be getting clamped in the headstock, so that whatever the speed you will be having, you will be having a back gear mechanism or all gear mechanism, so that you will get a different speed. There is a stepped cone pulley. Only if you are having a stepped cone pulley, 4 speeds only there. But if you are engaging with the back gear mechanism, especially while doing thread cutting, you will be engaging the back gear mechanism. At the time, you can able to make 8 different speeds. But if you are making use of an all gear mechanism, you can able to make 9 speeds. Now about bed, as you have seen, the bed is what the rigid construction. It is the base where all the lathe parts are mounted, like headstock as well as carriage as well as the tailstock. It is getting mounted on this bed element. It is what it is generally a single piece cast part that is made of cast iron. Cast iron is used because of its self-lubricating property, and also different types of lathe machine having different sizes of bits. Bays are the guide rails. Here you will be seeing the bays, that are all what guide rails in through which the parts of the lathe machine can move. That's what you have the movement. Headstock will not move; it is fixed only. But you can able to move carriage, and also tailstock you can able to move. So tailstock you can able to move at a particular position, then you will be locking. Which one is continuously you can able to make movement for the making of the staining process is carriage. Carriage is what? It is going to get a precise movement, both longitudinal as well as a cross-wise movement. Above the carriage you are having a parts for that, which part is going to get a longitudinal movement and cross-wise movement. You are going to see one by one. So now in a carriage, as you have seen bed, above bed you will be having at the middle part is of the lathe is what the carriage part. This entire part you will be seeing as a carriage. Above the carriage you will be having saddle, then compound rest, truss leg. Each one having a separate movement. If you are seeing carriage, it is what it is going to make movement for the cutting tool along the lathe bed. So it consists of three main parts: as saddle, and then crash light, and then apron. You're seeing saddle that is being H-shaped casting. It will be a H-shaped casting. Here you are having a mounting, and likewise other side also you will be having a mounting. This part is what you will be calling as a saddle. So this is what it is going to provide a means for mounting a crash light as well as apron. Above this, you are mounting the crash light and this apron. This is what apron. The bottom one is the apron, and you will be mounting above this. You will be mounting the crash light. So you are going to see in depth about what is crash light and apron. So now seeing about crash light, this is a cross section of a crash light. If you're seeing a crash light, the crash light is what it is mounted above the top of the saddle. It provides the manual or automatic crash movement for the cutting tool. You will be going to give a feed You are going to give a feed and a depth of cut through by means of this crash slide only. And the compound rest is what? It is fitted on the top of the crash slide. Above the crash slide, you are having a compound rest. That is whenever you are going to make use of a taper training by compound rest method, then you will be going to make use of the compound rest. It is used to support the cutting tool. It can be swiveled to any angle for the taper training, and it has graduated color that ensure accurate cutting. It is especially with 0.001 inch graduation marks are there in the compound slide, so that you can able to make for a precise movement. You can make use of this compound twist. So this is what the compound slide. So if you are seeing compound slide, it is fixed on top of the cross slide and it can be turned to any desired angle. For taper turning, you can able to turn to any desired angle, but not more than 45 degree. You can't able to turn more than that. The compound slide is useful for training and boring short tapers and chambers. And you had seen a apron part. The apron part is what it is housing the gears and mechanism required to move carriage or class side automatically. Whenever you are going to make thread cutting operation, at the time you will be going to engage the feed mechanism, automatic feed mechanism. You will be having automatic feed lever. That mechanism is what the apron is carrying, so that you can make use of a locking off lever. You will be having a split net. Split net means it will be having a net assembly, but it is having a split one, a split type of net. So the split type of net, if you are disengaging, the net will be getting split. If you are engaging, the nut is going to engage with the lead screw. In a lathe, you will be having a lead screw, a lengthy screw available for the entire length of the bed. On that lead screw, once you are engaging the split net lever, the off net lever is going to engage means it is going to get a automatic feed. If you are disengaging, you will not be getting automatic feed. So that facility is inside this apron. So apron hand wheel, that is what turned manually to move carriage along lathe bed. So you can make manual movement also, and also you can make automatic feed also. So above this crash slide, you will be having the tool post. The tool post is what is situated at the top of the carriage. Its function is to hold the tool or the tool holder. And there are three main types of tool post is available. That's what you will be having: a ring and rocker and a quick change and a four-way turret. If you're seeing a ring and rocker, this is a ring and rocker type of a tool post. Easily you can make use of this in a racker, and it will have the flexibility to hold a different types of tool. And also the quick change tool post, you can able to make unscrewing it by using an Allen screw, and you can able to make mounting of a small sizes of tools. And a four-way turret, you can able to fix the rigid type of tool using the four-way turret. You will be having the bigger size of screws compared to quick change one, but four-way you can make use of a hardened tool you can able to keep in the case of a four-way turret. And the last part, that is the extreme tail end part, is what a tail stalk. As already explained, tail stalk has mainly three functions: holding the lengthier component, as well as for your an offset, and you can make use for the taper training, and it will be what it will be able to make at any position. Okay, so that's what you can see, that it's having the right hand side of the work. You will be having the tail stalk, so you can be able to make it at any position. For a centering work, you can make use of this centering of a job. Okay, you can make use of the tailstock end, and also it will be providing good support for damping the vibration. It have the inner ways. It is generally mounted on the inner ways only, and it is adjusted for taper or parallel turning. Not only that, as already said, you can make use for the attachment like drill bit, okay, boring tools. That thing you can able to make attachments here. For that also tailstock will be used. And the quick change gearbox, as you have seen, a stack will be having a varieties of speed. You will be having the inside that you will be having a gearbox. The gearbox contains a number of different sizes of gears. This provides a feed rod as well as a lead screw with various speeds for turning and thread cutting operation. Especially as you had said, back gear mechanism, you will engage it for thread cutting operation, because it's required to run at a lower speed for a thread cutting operation. So for that, we'll be making use of a gearbox. The feed rod, that will be advances carriage whenever the automatic feed lever engaged. And similarly, lead screw will be advances the carriage for thread cutting operation whenever the split net lever is engaged. And about of cutting speed, the case of cutting speed, you are seeing, as you are seeing that lathe parts you are seeing, you will be having a headstock. On the headstock, you will be having the spindle having the rotation. Whenever you are going to make rotation, you will be having what? The rotation speed. That rotation speed will be a revolutions per minute. it is going to get rotation. That is what here you can able to see in this sketch. You will be having a light blue colored arrow mark. This is what a rotation. The workpiece is going to rotate as the lathe spindle. In the headstock you are having lathe spindle. On the lathe spindle only you will be clamping the work, either using a 3-jaw check or 4-jaw check or a collet suitable work holding device. You are making utilization for holding this work, and then it is allowed to rotate because it is attached with the top of a headstock spindle. Headstock spindle having a different speed. You can able to make control of that speed using the speed lever, so that you will be controlling the speed. That is what this color, light blue colored, it is going to get a rotational speed. That is the one important thing, rotational speed. Then cutting speed means how, at what rate you are going to cut the material. That is what the cutting speed. That will be said as a surface speed also. You are having a surface speed. That's why a capital letter S will be used most of the time for a surface speed. Some formulas will maybe using for a cutting speed, it is being capital B. So you will be knowing B equal to pi dn. That is what the usual formula. For conversion, you will be going to see it as V equal to pi dn by 1000. So cutting speed, if you are seeing, cutting speed for turning is the speed at which the work rotates, at which the work is rotating. That is what you will be calling it as a surface speed. So also you can say rate at which point on work circumference travels past the cutting tool. So this is what it is going to define you the formula also. See how fast the circumference can travel past the cutting tool. As you know the circumference formula for the circle, you can able to make the formula for the case of a cutting speed. So this is what is expressed in meters per minute. It is expressed in meters per minute. The unit is expressed in meter per minute. The important thing to know about the correct speed for the material is, if you are having too high cutting speed, then cutting tool will be going to break down rapidly. And if you are going to engage a too low speed means the time will be lost and the low production rate will be there. And if you are seeing about factor considered for selection of cutting speed, the material being cut, that is what the important thing. What material you are going to cut? Either you are going to cut on a soft material or a hard material. And rigidity and condition of the machine, and the material of which the tool is made from. The cutting tool, what material it is, that also you have to consider. Then what depth of cut and what feed rate you are going to apply, that is needed to make. And the availability of coolant, that is what availability of coolant means, a cutting fluid. So you'll be having a indication of this increasing of cutting speed. See, steel, you'll be knowing steel having more hardness, that is harder material. Then iron, little softer compared to steel. Then aluminum, still softer one. Lead, it is still more softer than that of an aluminum. If you are having more and more softer material, then you can able to make increasing of your cutting speed. That's what the softer the work material, the faster will be the recommended cutting speed. So about the calculation of lathe spindle speed. The calculation of lathe spindle speed, you will be having a unit, a revolution per minute. The spindle speed, if you have to calculate, you can calculate it with the help of an V equal to pi dn. That is what a cutting speed will be having pi dn, as you had already seen. Circumference formula is there, because what is the meaning of an surface speed? Surface speed means how much time it is going to travel for the cutting a one circumference of the workpiece. So one circumference is what it is with pi d, that is what is circumference formula. So the d will be what in mm. So that is pi dn, okay, into n, that will be what revolution. Revolution per minute is what n. So from that you will be able to calculate the spindle speed. Likewise, you can also calculate the lathe cutting speed. Lathe cutting speed is what you will be having pi dn. V equal to pi dn, that is what it is. Most of the formulas will be used, but now we are using here S equal to pi dn by 1000. Why this divided by 1000 we are putting is, this d will be available in mm. In the workpiece component, the dimensions will be available in mm, but we are having the standard formula for the cutting speed, it is being meter per minute. So that's why we are dividing it by 1000. So revolution per minute, and each revolution per minute, one revolution, there will be a entire circumference of the workpiece, that is what pi d. That's why we are making the meter per minute, we will be making it the circumference formula multiplied by the rotational speed. That will be giving you the cutting speed, how much time it is going to take. So time travel is needed, and also it is depending upon the rotational speed. That's why you will be making it with the help of pi dn by 1000. And this is how you will be calculating the lathe spindle speed. Revolution per minute, that will be equal to 1000 into S by pi d. That is how from that, from the case of an cutting speed, you can able to calculate it. Reversely, you can apply the formula. Pi d is here, and n is going this side. So revolution per minute you can identify from the formula of a cutting speed. So now about the principle of lathe operation. The lathe is what? It's a machine tool. As we have already seen, it's a machine tool. That's what it is, holding the workpiece between two rigid and strong support. That is what called to be a center. Otherwise, you will be holding it in a head check or a face plate that is revolving. Head check will be revolving. Here with the live center, you will be saying it live center. You will be saying it as a dead center, and the tool is what? It is going to be get a longitudinal movement as well as crosswise movement. That is what the principle. You will be making the cutting tool to hold and fade against the revolving workpiece. Workpiece will be revolving, but the tool you are going to make longitudinal movement, otherwise a crosswise movement. The depth of cut will be given this direction, and at what rate you are going to give the depth of cut, that is what you will be meaning with the speed. Okay, and speed means it is a rotational speed. Simply said, speed means it is a rotational speed. It will be said the linear speed you are giving in the tool, that is what you will be saying it as the cutting speed. There is a difference between simply a speed and a cutting speed. Simply speed means it means to rotational speed, and the cutting speed is what we are calculating a meter per minute. But rotational speed, simply a speed means it is revolution per minute. So that what cutting tool can be fed either parallel or at right angle to the axis of work, or maybe also at an angle that each process, that is either you are going to feed it parallel or you are going to feed a right angle, there is a separate operation for that. If you are keeping it parallel, that what you will be saying turning operation. At right angle to the axis of work, simply you are making right axle to the right axis, right angle to the axis of work means you will be making a facing operation. At an angle if you are doing, that will be a taper operation. That's what we will be having a number of training operations, a straight training as well as a taper training and a profiling. If you see the straight training operation, what you are doing is tool will be made in a longitudinal direction. But if you are seeing a facing operation, it will be what? You will be making in a right angle to the axis. Right angle to the axis you are making. So in case of a training, you can reduce the diameter of the workpiece. But in case of a facing, you will reduce the length of an workpiece. The case taper training, you can able to feed it angularly. That is what you will be having a compound slide as well as tailstock offset method, and also you will be having a taper training attachment method. You can able to make a taper operation. That is what taper training. And if you need a profiling, then you have to make a profile tool, and you will be making a different profile cutting. That is what profiling operation. And the case external grooving, you will be making an undercut. That is what you will be saying as external grooving. And in case of a face, if you are making a cut, that is what you will be saying as a face grooving. And also if you had made use of a form tool, that will be said as a forming operation. You can make whatever the form is required. The tool itself you can design to that form, and you can feed the tool, and you can able to make that required form on the workpiece. The case of a drilling operation means you will be making a new hole on the workpiece. You are going to make a new hole using a drill bit. But boring means already if you have made a hole, then you can enlarge that hole. You can make increasing of the size. That is what a boring operation. And the cutting off, otherwise it is said as the parting off means you will be making use of a parting tool, and you will be feeding it up to the center of the axis, so that you will be going to make a reduction of a workpiece. And if you have to cut the workpiece into two off, then we will be making use of this cutting off tool, that parting off tool. That's what you will be parting the component into two parts. Then about the thread cutting operation, the thread cutting operation, you will be making a cutting off on a thread. The thread will be cut by using a thread cutting V-form tool. The V-form tool is what it is mainly used for the case of production of metric thread, so that whenever you are feeding and engaging the automatic feed mechanism in the apron, then you can able to set the number of feeds, and according to the calculation, the gears will be set so that the required pitch can be obtained if you are making use of a thread cutting. Nailing tool can be used. It will be having a lot of different shapes of an nail head is available, like a diagonal as well as a diamond. Okay, using that you can able to make a nailing operation. The nailing operation is what, especially whenever you need a grip of a component, then you need to do a nailing. This nailed product you can able to see in case of a vernier caliper. In case of a vernier caliper, at the end you will be having a ratchet mechanism. You can able to see there is a nailed head. For a better grip, you will be providing a nailed head. So thank you for listening to this video. Thank you.